We just hit APA 2025 in Las Vegas, and let me tell you, it did not disappoint. We got hands-on with the latest laser tech, we met some amazing makers, and even found a few new surprises that we can't wait to share with you.
So let's take you inside the action.
What is up? Welcome back. We just got back from the APA Expo 2025. That's the Awards and Personalization Association.
We just learned about this conference back in December, but they've been around for decades and they've been doing a few updates and refreshing things.
So we left pretty early on Sunday to hit the ground pretty early in Las Vegas.
So conference starts on Tuesday. We arrived a little early on Sunday, so we'd have the opportunity to get settled in, meet with some makers on Monday, and then kick things off on Tuesday.
So Sunday, we just did a whirlwind tour of Las Vegas, mainly the Strip. We walked like 10 miles that day, just trying to get in everything. We brought Tanner, who's our son. He works with us. We brought him along so he'd have an opportunity to kind of see what we get to see, network, and actually get to meet some people.
And we had our daughter Isabel with us, who had the opportunity just to tag along and have a free hotel stay. So we had to show them Vegas. We were here a little early.
Are you enjoying it, Garrett?
It's fun.
I knew I wanted to show them the themes in Vegas, so we walked 10 plus miles that day and got to see so many different hotels and themes.
And everything. There are so many sights to see. Monday, at day 2, we continued our tour. We knew we had some afternoon meetings, so we caught some early morning breakfast over there at this really cool diner. We actually got to meet the doctor, Anthony Edwards.
We had a little breakfast, then we had the opportunity to do a little more sightseeing. We had to take Tanner and Isabel over to the Venetian and show them the amazing canals and sights inside another hotel/casino.
In the afternoon, we went over to the APA Expo and we registered to get our badges and get things moving. That night, we headed down to Fremont Street. I had to show the kids the Fremont experience. That is my favorite place in Las Vegas. I could have spent all night there, but we had to get up early in the morning the next day. So we called it quits kind of early.
It was like after midnight, but for a Monday night, I was amazed at how many people were there. It was a good time.
Tuesday, first day of the expo. Session started at 7:30 in the morning, which wasn't too bad for us. We're East Coast, so it was like 10:30.
Right in the beginning, they shared that there was no recordings, no photos, so we can't show you inside the sessions or any of the content within the sessions, but we did want to let you know the types of sessions that were out there and options that we had to choose from, so there's just something for everyone.
And our first class was with Michael from Laser Engraving 911. Great class. It was Adobe Illustrator tips for laser engraving businesses. And I think they were all great tips for businesses. Well, I actually learned something that I didn't know for 20 years, and it was how to center two objects without one of the objects moving. So great job, Michael. I enjoyed it. Some of the other classes, there was a ton of classes.
So every 2 hours started a new session. Classes were about 90 minutes long. Every 2 hours started a new session. You get to choose between, looks like about 3 options for each one. So we had the opportunity to choose which one met our needs. And
so we'll just give you an example of some of the ones that we attended. Since we went with 3 people, we took Tanner with us. We were able to split up a lot. A lot of the times I did go with Kim just because she's my handler. But we did get to split up and to see a bunch of stuff. But some of the ones that we got to attend, the Adobe one with Michael from Laser Engraving 911. Think Outside the Catalog, which was pretty good. That was with Branden Todd over there at GS2 Awards. That was a good one. We went to Light Burn Tips to take your projects to the next level. I forgot to write his name down. It was Robert. Robert did a good job. He was over there. I think it was Crafty Creationz. Great job. Then we hit up the Advanced Light Burn with Katie Devlin.
She did an awesome job.
Things Katie makes. Yes. So many tips, so many tricks that she showed there.
Bunch of advanced light burn tips and tricks in that one. And it did a great job of just one project carrying through pretty much all the tips, and it just kept building as she went through the session or the presentation. It was great.
Yeah, I got to learn about flooding and all kinds of stuff. I'll save it. We also did From Start to Success Strategies for Scaling Your Business. That was with our pals Courtney and Patrick over there at Houston Acrylic. They also did a great job. We also hit up Using Influencers to Grow Your Craft Business. That was with Sumita and Anuj over there at Homebound Custom Decor.
There were lots of options. Let's see. Oh, yeah.
We did hit one more. We get one more in. We got the Ultimate Personalization Sandwich combining UV printing and laser techniques. That was with Susan Cox over at LogoJet. And that one was mind-blowing. There was like, I think she showed 10, 20. I'm not a note taker, but I must have had like 20 ideas coming out of that.
Mm-hmm. But I'm the note taker. I got them all.
She is the note taker. She took notes on every class we went to.
We had the opportunity to network and meet so many people at the beginning and ending of each of the sessions.
And I love a selfie. So if somebody came up and talked to me, I was getting a selfie with them before they left. And if I didn't get my selfie with you and you did come and talk to me, you better come find me next time and we'll get that selfie.
After the sessions, we had the opportunity to go to dinner with some folks. What started out as five people headed to dinner, it seemed like we went to one location, the wait was too long. By the time we made it to where we were going, we walked from one restaurant to the other. We ended up with a group of 14 people.
We kind of like everybody just piled on. It was kind of like a snowball effect. As the more we walked, the more people we picked up and brought with us to dinner. And we went to the craziest little Italian restaurant. It was a hole in the wall in like a strip mall.
Well,
with
that's what it's called.
Food.
Batista's Hole in the Wall Italian.
Oh, really?
Yes, that is.
It was a total hole in the wall.
And it was a pretty cool little restaurant. We had the opportunity to have dinner with a couple of different folks. We had dinner with Michael from Laser Engraving 911, Kristin from KThomp Designs, Christine, Liz, who else? Cindy. We just had a big table.
We actually got split into two tables. So that's who ate with us.
Yes.
And then there was a whole other table. And then we actually got to meet up back when everybody was done eating and walk back over to the hotel.
Had a big group photo at the end. We had such a great time at dinner that night.
Wednesday, day 2 of the expo. This is what I was super excited about. There were some classes in the morning, but about 10:30 in the morning, the vendor hall opened up and it was a madhouse. There were so many people. It was so big. There were so many vendors. I was super impressed. I wasn't expecting that amount of vendors there.
Not only were there tons of vendors there, you got to see not just materials, not just products, but also some of the equipment. We got to see some CNC machines, some laser machines.
A lot of fiber lasers were there. You got to see the rotaries over there with our pals Stan and Len over at Lens Digital. They had the big guns out. And you can do dog bowls now. Lightburn folks were there. They're showing off that Lightburn isn't just for lasers. You can also use it with CNCs. So they're showing off their CNC version of Lightburn at the show, which was pretty cool. I didn't know. I thought Lightburn was synonymous with lasers. So
yeah.
It was pretty cool. This one laser was also pretty cool. It's got some neat features to it. You can remove all of the lenses and all of the mirrors, just pop them out. Like the magnets just hold in the lens and you can clean both sides and just pop it back in with magnets. And all of the mirrors, it's just one screw, pull them out, pop them back in.
We got to meet with the folks over at Laser Map Maker, Elias and his partner. There was some really neat things that they've done with Laser Map Maker. That you can now do maps in form of shapes. So you can see the heart, the cross here, and that's
the heart
cool.
came out just in time.
For
Valentine's is right
Day.
around the corner. Oh, and then we got to meet our friends over at the Riley Black Project. They had a keychain thingy booth. But our friends John and Crystal, they run a podcast. It's about lasers. They meet a lot of laser makers and interview them. If you like laser podcasts, you should check them out.
Well, you get to learn people's backstories, a little about them, a little about their business, what inspires them. Some of those things really inspire you too. Then we moved over to the CMB Acrylic booth. Melody over there at CMB Acrylic. We got to do a little make and take while we were at her booth, picked out different pieces of acrylic, put it on a little paint palette, so I had an acrylic palette. Got to see some of her products and all of her beautiful different acrylic designs.
A lot of glitter. Oh, and right next door was Monarch Pine. She has a lot of jewelry blanks.
That's Katie, and we got to look at some of her earrings, earring blanks, some of her jigs, necklaces,
bracelets. I mean, kind of like all kinds of jewelry and jewelry tools. And she says, if you're metal curious, stop by her booth.
She also had the opportunity, we had the opportunity to do a little make and take at the end of her booth. I got to make my own pair of earrings.
She did a little collab with Daniel Gonzales. He makes these jigs for like the F1. So she's got his jigs in her booth showing off how you can use the jewelry with these jigs. It was a pretty good idea.
All right, you can do a lot of personalization on your jewelry. Like I said, the necklaces, the bracelets, the earrings, using these jigs. Good job.
There was a couple of UV printing vendors there, so you can tell that UV printing is on the come up. There must have been about 2 or 3, maybe 4 UV printing companies there.
And if you're doing any kind of awards or personalization, UV printing is really an amazing tool to have in your toolkit to do any kind of, they had badges, they had acrylic awards, glass awards. It's pretty cool.
Pretty cool. And all of the laser companies that were there, well, most of the laser companies that were there were trying to show you that they worked with the UV printing. They were showing off, both the Eon and the Trotec people were showing off that they can do a print and cut with the UV prints.
Yeah, yep. And over at the GS2 Awards booth, we got to meet with Branden and Stephanie with the Country Porch Swing, doing a little print and cut, a little Vegas, what was that? Keychain or something? Yeah, yeah. Lots of products, showing you how you can engrave or print on glass, acrylic, combining glass and acrylic with wood. Just
There's so many ideas, so many shapes.
Yeah.
Shapes I didn't even know would exist.
Or stackable awards. At this booth, some of the awards were stackable.
Oh yeah,
that was pretty cool. I didn't even consider doing something like that.
There was a whole booth that did all kinds of horses and stuff. This booth here took up a whole row.
Right.
Like JDS also took up a whole row. This place took up a. There are so many things to look at.
So many vendors that provide amazing blanks from leather, acrylic, tumblers, just so many different things.
There was so much to see. I don't think we actually got to see it all or gave it the time that it actually deserved. First hall was definitely centered around UV printing and lasers.
And then materials.
Yep, and materials.
And supplies.
And then the second hall was mostly awards. I'm gonna say they're mostly award-shaped things that you can just pick up and engrave. You don't need to do anything else to. Or UV print on, I guess.
It's not really our wheelhouse, but we did get to pick up some contact information and learn about some of the other vendors. So if I ever need that kind of trophy or type of an award, we can reach out to those guys. It took us 8 hours to get through the hall because not only were we stopping and talking to some of the vendors, learning about some of the material supplies, we got to network again with other people.
We got to meet so many more people
that recognized us, knew of our channel. And again, we got to hear some of their stories and things that inspire them. And again, it just inspires us to do even more. It's just so much fun. We were exhausted by the time we got through the end of the day there. But it didn't end there. At the end of the evening, they had a little, what was it, a cocktail reception?
Yeah, it was like a little party. I think they called it like an after party. So the vendor area got opened up and you could go through and they gave you some food, an open bar, those finger foods, an open bar. Yeah, some music. You also got to mingle and go back to the booths maybe you didn't see. It was a lot less crowded then. And you were able to go do some actual networking with the vendors.
So that ended about 6 p.m., but the day is not over at 6 p.m.
The day is not over.
We are in Las Vegas, so
it's time for dinner.
We had to do a little more gambling.
That's right.
And then we went over we met with some folks. We heard of a little meetup going on at one of the local restaurants. So we hopped over there, sat outside. It was beautiful. We got to sit outside, network with some other influencers as well as makers.
Vendors. Yeah, just a mix of people.
And that was for a couple of hours, few more drinks. Then that devolves into, we need to go dancing.
An after hours club. And we wandered back home with these two at about 1:30, 2 in the morning.
Yes. It was a long day, but so much fun.
So much fun. It was a whirlwind. Thursday, day 3 of the expo. There were some more morning sessions and the vendor hall was again open around 10:30.
The day ended with an award celebration. However, we didn't get a chance to attend day 3. We had to head back. Shop was closed all week. We had to get back and get a little work done. So we were here by Friday morning. But we had such a great time.
It was such a great time. We met so many great people. Again, if you have the opportunity to go, if you want to grow your business, if it is a business to you, I think something like the APA Expo is definitely beneficial. I learned a ton. I know Kim has a ton of notes. Tanner came back super energized, ready to go.
Yeah, not only are you learning, you're networking, you come back energized and reinvigorated.
He came back with so many ideas. Tanner took notes. I did not think somebody like Tanner would take notes, but he had so many ideas coming out of an expo like that. It's great. I can't wait to go back. I think it was great. It kept me energized. It let me know that I'm on the right track.
And we look forward to seeing you at the next conference. We'll be at the Next Level Laser Conference in August. Oh, we didn't mention our Next Level Laser meetup.
Oh,
right?
That's right. There was a whole Next Level Laser meetup.
That was one of the sessions in the afternoon.
We actually got delayed getting there, so we didn't get to see the whole little speech in front of it. But we got to meet a bunch of people that are going to be there this year. Again, that is another good one that energizes you. And you come out of there thinking that you can fight the world. So I definitely suggest that if you are serious at doing a business like this and you haven't been to a place like that, you go do it, meet some people, get some ideas, and re-energize yourself.
Make sure you get out there and really talk to folks.
Everybody is great.
Yes.
Everybody was great and filled with information, and they love to share.
So we look forward to seeing you at the next one.